Hello beautiful people. In this video I'll take a look at the Dornier Do 335 A-1 after its BR reduction to battle rating 4.3. Hope you enjoy. In War Thunder we have three different versions of the Do 335 and they're all considered strike aircraft. But you really don't see them very often and there's definitely a reason for that, but I'll come back to that in a bit. First a brief overview over the different variants. At battle rating 4.3 we find the production model of the Do 335, the A-1 model, and this model is also the one I'm featuring in this video. The second is the pre-production model at battle rating 4.7. It is slightly higher in BR because it's a little faster. On the other hand, the A-0 cannot carry bombs but gun pods instead, so it's more suited as a high altitude interceptor than a ground striker. The third and last is the B2 model, and this Dornier is a premium. It sits at battle rating 5.7 and it is a strike aircraft monster with its 3 30mm cannons, 2 20mm cannons and a bomb load. Let's look at some of the pros and cons for the Dornier. Some of the pros: fast. The top speed for the Do 335 A-1 is 755 km/h at 7,000 meters. The wings never get torn off in a dive, since they have an impressive speed of almost 1,000 km/h. Armament. The Do has all its weapons located in the nose, which makes gun conversions more or less obsolete, and they are thereby easier to aim in general. The plane is equipped with a powerful 30mm Mark 103 in the nose. The cannon can fire a deadly high-velocity AP shell, which even at 500 meters can pen 85mm of armor, so no tank is safe. For air combat, it also has a high explosive minigun shot shell, and only a couple of hits is needed to rip any plane apart. Additionally, also located in the nose, we have two 50mm MG-151s, and this 15mm heavy machine gun is quite rare, and it is sadly barely used by any aircraft. The MG is also able to fire a very high armor penetrating round for the caliber. It can fire an armor-piercing incendiary bullet with a cement core, which is able to pin 35mm of armor at 500 meters and 48mm at 100 meters. So this weapon can also decimate tanks from the top down. Bomb load. The plane can carry up to 1,000 kilograms of bombs. The Dornier can carry two 250 kilogram bombs under the wings. A single 500 kilogram bomb is also located in a bomb bay, so there's less drag on the plane itself while carrying it. Easy landings. The Do has a tricycle landing gear, and that means it's very fast to land, and it does not nose over. It also has a fast turnaround since you can hit the brakes as soon as you land, and thereby quickly get airborne again. And some of the cons. Flight characteristics. The Dornier is a large aircraft for the type, so it's easy to hit. It turns like a bus with 26 seconds for a full turn, and if you're still carrying your bombs, you can add almost 4 seconds to it, bringing it close to 30 seconds, and that is not good. Even though you have two powerful engines in a push-pull configuration, the Dornier has a slow acceleration, and that can be an issue as well. Strangely enough, the Dornier does not have combat flaps, and that also counts against it. And again, even though you have plenty of engine power, the rate of climb is quite poor with only 12.9 meters a second. Low ammo count. The 30mm cannon, although very powerful, only has 70 rounds total, so you need to be careful with it and not take too many pot shots or you will run out very quickly. Your secondary weapons, the 15mm heavy machine guns, only have 400 rounds total as well, and that is not a lot either since they fire pretty fast. Difficult to master. This is more aimed towards the player base and not the plane itself. Due to how it needs to be played in order to shine, the Dornier has had a bad reputation in general and players keep using it in the wrong way and that always gets them shot down fast. I believe that is the biggest reason the Dornier 335 A-1 had its BR reduced. You can generally use the Do 335 in two ways. Either as a high altitude interceptor in ARB, and I do really mean high altitude. It's very important that you keep climbing until you're over the bombers and enemy fighters and then zoom and boom on them. If you can, avoid to turn fight, since you'll run out of your most important aspect, which is speed, fast. I often see Do 335 players go low and attack ground targets in ARB. I think it's fine for spading the aircraft, but you'll be an easy target down there to pick off. At low speeds the Dornier turns like a brick, and those aspects are not nearly as bad at higher speeds and at altitude. The way I prefer using the Dornier is in ground RB. It can be an absolute beast if you play it correctly. The 30mm cannon can crack open any tank, the 15mm heavy machine guns can kill any tank from above, and for the rest you have 2 bomb drops with 500 kilograms of bombs each. I recently made a video on the new cannons fitted to the A26B-10, and this Dornier should be played in the same manner. Fly perpendicular to the battlefield, depending on the layout of the map. That way you have a chance to hit the tanks in the sides where they're most vulnerable to your cannon fire. Of course, it does not matter how they angle if you drop your bombs on them. If you find yourself in a dogfight in ground RB, and that will of course happen all the time, it's important to never lose too much speed if possible. Drop your bombs so you gain almost 4 seconds of turn time, and try to avoid turning too much. If it is unavoidable, look at your airspeed, and if it's low, disengage and try to run. The Dornier unfortunately accelerates pretty slow, but eventually you will be able to outrun most aircraft at better rating 4.3 even at low level. The Do has a tough airframe, and you will be able to take a beating before being destroyed. Although not pretty, the Dornier can still fly with one engine, and you can get to around 300 km an hour if you're lucky. The rear engine also helps the pilot with not getting sniped from behind. It can be a little rough aiming the guns on vehicles. I'm not sure if it's because of the high roll rate or mouse control on the PC, but it can be difficult to be accurate with the guns, even though it should be easy since they're all located in the nose. It sometimes seems as if the controls have a hard time with the final movement and the reticle seems to be floating around in a circle on the Dornier, and that can make precise aiming on the Dornier annoying and difficult. I will say that it's not easy to use the Dornier to its full strength, but if you're able to, you'll be in a monster of a strike aircraft at now battle rating 4.3, but it is difficult to get the most out of this plane and it's not for everyone. I of course enjoy the Dornier very much, but I also tend to gravitate towards the more quirky and out of the norm vehicles in War Thunder. Thank you for watching, and until next time, remember to deploy your die brakes. Have a good one.